Amazon hub in Queens, New York, one of 7 facilities where workers are demanding better pay and benefits. Meanwhile, at Starbucks location.
Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show, the video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning on a Friday, Mike Weibel.
Here I am.
Hey, Mike.
Hey.
Friday
before Christmas.
Somebody was in here last night doing the
what?
Yeah, they were doing the
that whole elf on the shelf thing, isn't it?
It was the elf on the shelf, and they were doing one of the sports games, one of the basketball games. And they messed it all up. They messed up the entire board. And I got a note early this morning from one of our folks, Brian, who helps the people who run the board games.
Yeah.
And he said, "Can you see what in the heck they're doing? Because when they were trying to record something, it just wasn't working. They were getting the microphone, they're getting everything but the basketball game. So now I've got to go back and check and see if we have the right podcast up."
Oh boy!
Well, at least a quality podcast for the basketball game. So anyway, but which reminds me, if you ever miss any of the basketball games that we have here on WSJM, the boys basketball games, high school, we podcast them, and we put them up on the podcast on WSJM.com. You just go to WSJM.com, look on podcasts. You can see the basketball games that we've covered, football during the football season.
Yep.
You can get Southwest Michigan's morning news every morning that I upload by 5:30. Otherwise, my folks here have my tail, and a whole bunch of other quality content. Sorry, see they mess with the microphone too. Anyway,
so I noticed when you
WSJM.com,
go on to WSJM.com,
Yep.
and you look at the podcast,
yes,
you're kind of like, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Oh,
but if you go up to the little search microscope and put in your search of, like, I don't know, Baird Private Wealth Management or St. Joe Basketball or whatever, then it brings up the podcasts that are specific.
We're charging you every time you say that, by the way.
Baird Private Wealth Management. But no, I mean, so the first time I went on there, I was like, okay, I don't understand where I need to find this. But if you look for something specific, like a game or whatever, if you put it in, it'll bring it up for you.
Would they have these things called search in websites? Wow.
It's probably AI.
No, that's a good tip. That's a very good tip. That's a very good tip. And all that content is right there for you, free on demand. It's like entertainment on demand. All right, we've got some news to cover here in just a moment. I do want to talk about the squirrels. I can't believe you hadn't heard about this.
I can't either.
Squirrels are eating little varmints. I don't know what they technically are. If they're voles or moles. I think they're voles.
Yeah.
And somebody caught it on video. And there's new research. It's been published in the Journal of Ethology. So you know it's good.
Oh, definitely.
Squirrels are taking on carnivorous behavior.
Have they decided why?
Well, we'll talk a little bit about it.
Nuts.
They've gone nuts. The squirrels have gone nuts.
You are what you eat.
No, because they're not nutty anymore. They're eating meat. They're eating their friends.
They're just like, we're just so sick and tired of nuts.
Can you imagine? All right, we'll talk about that and more coming up in just a few minutes right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Here, that's why I want to tell you about Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers, with 7 proven forms of magnesium to target every system in your body. Don't let stress and burnout ruin your holidays. Get Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers and give your body the magnesium it craves. It's the perfect gift for yourself or a loved one this holiday season. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use promo code radio during checkout to save 10% and transform your health. That's bioptimizers.com/radio.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning and happy Friday. It's the 20th of December, 7:05 a.m. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning, my co-host Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken.
The snow outside has coated some of the roadways a little bit, so it's a little bit slippery out there. Not a lot slippery, at least when we were coming into the office, but a little bit slippery. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
So be careful. And as you're driving around out there, we talked with the Michigan State Police earlier this week, and they said, can you please slow down a little bit?
Yeah.
Don't tailgate each other. And I was talking with Lieutenant Duane Robinson with the Michigan State Police 5th District, and he wanted help getting the word out on safe driving stuff because he knew the snow was coming this week. And I said, well, if you're like me and you're doing what you tell me what to do, and you still have some yahoo on your tail trying to go faster than you because they've got, super winter ready tires or whatever like that, what should I do? He said, pray. No, he said basically do what, focus on what's in your control.
Yeah.
If people want to go around you and you've got a safe spot to give them some room, do that. But otherwise, just pray and drive safe. I guess that's good advice.
Yeah. I do stop and check that rearview mirror. When I was 17 years old, I was coming home from school and got hit from behind on a snowy day. And
no. What happened?
I was stopping to turn into my neighborhood right in front of Herb's Auto Parts on John Beers.
Yeah.
And as I was waiting for the car to go by, as I was going across traffic, I saw the station wagon coming up behind me, faster. You're looking, bam, he hit me, pushed the trunk right into the back seat, and then left.
A hit and run?
Yeah.
Oh, they find him?
They did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. They serve in time? You visit them on holidays or anything?
Yeah. I wish I would have, but.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, so it's slick out there, and you think, oh, I'm in a hurry, and it surprises you. We can say it till our tongues are blue, but just slow down a little bit, drive safe. It's okay. You'll get there. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, how much time are you going to save? 1 minute, 2 minutes? Are you that far behind?
If you get into an accident,
your day is ruined.
Your timeline is all messed up.
Right.
All right. Well, if it wasn't for that thing in front of me, it's like, well, then just slow down. All right. Or leave earlier. Ha. How about that?
There you go. What a concept.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. We'll get off the soapbox. The forecast for today does call for mostly cloudy skies. A 60% chance of snow continuing this morning. A high today around 32 degrees. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts to 25. Tonight's forecast cloudy, 40% chance of lake effect snow, 1 to 3 inches accumulation possible this evening. 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation possible this evening. A low around 23 degrees, north winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow's forecast, Saturday, partly sunny, a 30% chance of lake effect snow showers, high around 28, north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to get a little colder. So the highs on Sunday, 25. On Monday, the high is 35. Tuesday, predicted high of 38. Wednesday, will keep that high. A predicted high on Christmas Wednesday of 38 degrees. The high on Thursday getting up to 42.
Ooh.
So the roller coaster is bringing the temperatures back up. So if you're hoping for a white Christmas, you might want to go out and get that white spray paint.
Yeah.
And just do the lawn.
Do the frosty windows.
Yeah, do that. Because you see, I mean, on social media, you can see all the reels, how people are doing all the frosty window art these days.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It is.
I get out there and do it, and it just looks like
Have you ever
garbage.
When you have to clean that stuff off, it's not fun.
They use razor blades, right?
Yeah.
Then cut your fingers and you get blood all over the windows. All right. We should do some news. Let's do some news.
Hey, let's do that.
Local news from the WSJM newsroom. The Berrien County Road Department is being asked to keep a closer eye on what's happening with traffic in Niles following the recent completion of the Michigan Department of Transportation project there at M51 and US 12. That intersection, they changed it to take there was an overpass bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So US 12 could just keep cruising along, no problem. And M51, all of a sudden they had the underpass thing with all the stoplights and stuff like that. But then they took that out for those who don't get down to that area very often, and they put in Michigan lefts, where you have to pass your street that you want to go onto, and then go into the left turn lane and turn around. Well,
does anybody like Michigan lefts?
DOT does, apparently, Department of Transportation, because they put a brand new one in there, and they're getting a lot of flack with it. County Commissioner Jim Curran told colleagues at yesterday's meeting that the flow of traffic has been affected in that area in a potentially dangerous way.
I think we're going to ask the road department to keep track of maybe some traffic flows down in Niles because of what MDOT did at M51 and 3rd Street with US 12.
Now, just last month, MDOT completed the rebuilding project in that location that culminated in the new intersection. The project replaced the freeway interchange with an at-grade intersection of US 12 and M51 featuring Michigan lefts. However, Curran said some mapping software so far hasn't caught up to that.
If you, on your phone, Google directions from, say, Merritt Elementary School, and you want to go to St. Joe, Google doesn't recognize M51 or 3rd Street as being able to turn left. So their directions, they will take you down Bell all the way to Bond.
Curran said that that change in traffic could result in high crash numbers. To find out by how much, he also said he believes MDOT should reimburse the county for what it's doing to the roads. He made the report to commissioners after a discussion with Berrien County Road Department Director Mark Heilinger earlier this week. I don't know. I don't like the Michigan lefts.
No,
don't put me in the left.
No.
Don't put me in a left turn.
No.
Unless there's a dedicated left turn lane.
That's one of the things I do not like about going north, especially the center of the state, is you get in, I can't turn here. Oh, it's a Michigan left. Even up toward Grand Haven, they've got them there. It's
yeah. I think would you prefer, instead of a Michigan left, would you prefer a roundabout? You can't do it at highway speed.
No.
Unless you put a ramp in.
Right.
Woo! All right. Other news, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has appointed 2 new inspectors for the Palisades Nuclear Power Plant in Covert, the NRC announcing Joseph Mancuso as the senior resident inspector and Takuma Okamoto as the resident inspector. Mancuso joined the NRC back in 2012 and most recently served as the senior resident inspector at the Cook plant in Bridgman. Okamoto joined the NRC in 2023, most recently acting as resident inspector at the Quad Cities Power Plant in Illinois. The inspectors are a vital part of assessing the plant's readiness for restart, which is still, at this time, scheduled for fall of next year. Benton Harbor Mayor Marcus Muhammad is promising to do his part in the fight against anti-Semitism. Muhammad attended the Mayors Against Anti-Semitism Summit. It was held last week in Beverly Hills, California.
Well, that's a good place.
That's a nice place to hold something. He told assembled mayors, rabbis, priests, and pastors that he was there to listen and to learn.
Because I believe that in order to eradicate and to decimate anti-Semitism, racism, sexism, and whatever ism is plaguing humanity, we have to come together and put our good words into practice.
Muhammad recalled helping organize an interfaith prayer vigil in 2018 after the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. He told those assembled he would bring what he learned at the summit back to Benton Harbor to be shared with the community. Muhammad was invited to the summit as a guest. And Michigan State Police will graduate 12 new motor carrier officers from the 27th Motor Carrier Officer Recruit School today. Motor carriers are uniformed members of the MSP who specialize in commercial vehicle enforcement. They enforce traffic safety laws on commercial vehicles, protect the infrastructure through size and weight enforcement, conduct commercial vehicle and driver inspections, and contribute to Homeland Security efforts by enforcing hazardous material regulations. Among the graduates are 3 new motor carrier officers who will be assigned to the Niles State Police Post. They'll be responsible for ensuring the safety of all the semis we see on I-94 each day. The post's new officers are Riley Huff of Onstead, Peter Reynolds of Holland, and Tanner Underwood of Battle Creek. At today's graduation ceremony, the new officers will be officially sworn in by Colonel James Grady, Director of the Michigan State Police. That's a look at some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom this morning. And we'll have more coming up in just a minute. Squirrels.
And congratulations to those new officers. I mean, that's...
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a lot of trucks, a lot of motor carriers out there that are taking the truck drivers alone, they're transporting the commerce that we need all across the nation.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't do it in a safe way.
Correct.
And they need to be checked out. And in fact, sometimes they get busted for traveling narcotics. And
Yeah,
so
we just had that big bust.
we
a
had that
couple
big
weeks ago.
bust.
Yeah.
The big bust on I-94. And the sheriff's office was the one that was keeping the eye on that one. But MSP motor carriers, they help in support of that as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got more to talk about in just a moment, including carnivorous squirrels. We'll have that in just a moment right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
NFL Thursday Night Football.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. I was listening to the sound from Marcus Muhammad, the mayor of Benton Harbor, and I feel so bad for him having to travel from here to Washington, D.C., to Beverly Hills. I mean, he must just be tired.
That's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
And to quote Ferris Bueller, all isms are bad.
Isms?
Isms.
Isms.
Yeah.
What are isms?
Well, he talked about racism.
Oh.
And he says
anti-Semitism.
Yes, and he says any isms.
Yeah.
And first thing I thought of was Ferris Bueller. all isms are bad.
Yeah. In the soundbite, he sounded very tired in that.
Yeah.
He sounded very tired in that. So hopefully,
and he was just in town the other day for the groundbreaking.
He
so
was
he's
here.
back.
He's here in town.
In
so
fact, I saw him at Walgreens.
Yeah,
I did. I saw him at St. Joe Walgreens.
That's good.
Yeah.
As well you should.
As I said that, you acted like I was making levity that I didn't really see him. It wasn't a punchline. It was he was at Walgreens.
That was funny. You're being weird this morning, Mike. Hang on just a minute. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We got to get back and talk about carnivore squirrels.
Definitely.
All right, we'll be right back.
Harbor Shores on the River Channel in St. Joe. Treat yourself to a delicious brunch 7 days a week, featuring breakfast favorites like Eggs Benedict or a 3-egg omelet, or new tastes like chicken and biscuits, hash and eggs, or caramel apple waffles. Need a great lunch spot? Planks has amazing salads like their famous Caesar or wedge, plus Nashville hot chicken, the Angry Reuben, and the Wagyu smash burger. See the full menu plus creative drink options and more at plankstavern.com or book your reservation anytime on the Open Table app. Planks Tavern on the water inside the inn at Harbor Shores. An experience away from it all without going far.
Cloudy skies with snow showers across the area this morning. It's area wide. This is a system snow giving us a quick inch or so of accumulation. We will see a lull this afternoon as we top out in the low to mid 30s, and then lake effect snow starts up this afternoon and continues tonight. Near the lake shore, another 1 to 3 inches possible. We're only in the 20s at 28 tomorrow. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's 7:17. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me this morning, because it's Friday, it's Mike Weibel.
Yes, because it is Friday.
Because it's Friday, Mike Weibel. On the video live stream just a second ago, we were continuing our discussion about a whole bunch of things. One of the things we covered in the news item this morning was the Michigan lefts down where 12 and 51 converge, and they've turned that instead of an overpass into a Michigan left. One of our faithful video followers, Bill, says, what you call a Michigan left is the highway version of a roundabout, and both are a bad idea. I'm paraphrasing just a little bit.
I would agree.
I still wonder about why they did that, taking highway speed traffic on one and turning it into they've got them down further on the road anyway, the Michigan lefts. Mm-hmm. I've never really understood them.
No.
Yeah. Are you grumpy this morning? You look grumpy.
I don't think so.
Okay, you're all right.
I have watched you wrestling with your microphone. It's been like an hour and 18 minutes. But
it's this week. It's just I'm getting ready. I'm letting out my anxiety. And finally, yesterday I completed my holiday shopping.
Did you?
Yeah. So I won't be done. I'll always pick up little knickknacks here and there between now and Christmas. But I feel like those things that were giving me anxiety are done. So I feel good about that.
You're going on vacation today, right?
Well, I don't know. I really haven't talked about that on the air, but
well,
thank you.
So
I will be taking some travel time during the holidays. Yes,
right. but you'll have armed guards at your house, so it's not like somebody watching the
even
dogs.
Better. Keep it going.
Right.
No, it'll be Doberman pinchers. Yeah, Doberman pinchers. Right. You're doing Fresca and Buble today.
Yeah, this is for the 8 o'clock hour. This is the 7 o'clock hour.
What's the green one over there?
This is sparkling water.
Is that Perrier?
Yeah.
Did you know Perrier has a sanitary issue with their mineral well?
Well, it's not actually Perrier.
Okay. It's a pseudo. Okay. So it's not actually that one.
So I don't know what Perrier's problem is, but somebody peed in the well.
No, we talked about it earlier on this show this week, and they were whoever looks and inspects, like the claim on the bottle is from a fresh sparkling mineral spring.
Yeah,
the collector thing that they bring that in from to the bottling piece issues. Yeah, sanitary issues. So I don't think anyone's urinating in it. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do need to clean it more often. Otherwise, they're going to lose the ability to put that on their label.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and you could always put lemon fresh. But...
Gross. Squirrels. I've been promising talking about squirrels this morning. And one of the things that we are talking about is how they are apparently changing their eating habits. They're traditionally known for being in parks and having a good time getting popcorn or nuts from people passing by. They get the nuts from the trees. They bury them all over the place. They forget where they bury them. They keep digging holes in your yard. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Apparently now, there are recorded instances of squirrels being carnivorous, hunting and killing other live vertebrates in a more aggressive manner than what scientists have seen previously. Now scientists have uncovered, and what they're reporting in the Journal of Ethology is unprecedented evidence of a type of squirrel that's exhibiting carnivorous behaviors, including hunting, killing, and eating voles. You know, the little voles.
Yeah. I've got those in my house.
The research published this week in that journal is part of a long-term behavioral ecology of California ground squirrels project in Contra Costa County in California. The project examines how ground squirrels in that area, native to the state's grasslands, are adapting their behavior in response to environmental changes. In this case, going after the local vole population. So, I mean, you see little varmints, little critters eating, I don't know. I mean, when's the last time you saw a squirrel going carnivorous?
I have not seen that yet, but I know like red squirrels will eat like birds' eggs, and they're kind of ornery, but
in parts of Northern California, vole infestations have been observed. At the research site, the study's author noted a significantly higher number of voles than average over the past decade. California ground squirrels, typically considered herbivores, eating mostly plants and seeds, the new findings offer the first documentation of the species actively preying on other live vertebrates, underscoring its ability to respond to changes in the ecosystem. They say this research radically changes our perception of squirrels. Yeah.
I
mean, can you imagine if you're at I always look for this on social media. You see the video of somebody in a park, with peanuts in their hand, feeding the squirrels because it's so cute and they're so cuddly and everything else. And inevitably, every now and again, a squirrel bites or scratches somebody. That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if you're trying to feed peanuts or popcorn to something, and all of a sudden they start gnawing on your fingers?
Or worse yet, all of a sudden you see like 3 squirrels find a smaller squirrel and just start all beating him up and then eating him.
That would be something.
That could be traumatizing too.
They could hunt in packs.
They could.
What are they watching? Are they watching National Geographic? It's like, we can go after other animals?
It's social media. It's ruining everything.
Anyway.
They're just tired of their dietary restrictions and they're not going to take it anymore.
We're tired of it.
That's where we have like Twisted Sister come underneath there with, we're not going to take it.
Well, and part of it too is, they get the peanuts and it's like, this food is for the birds.
Yeah. Who's feeding us the pigeon food? We don't have pigeon food anymore.
Other things happening that are a little bit unusual. There's you'll enjoy this. A former Hartford Public High School student who claims she graduated without learning how to read or write has filed a lawsuit against the city
of Hartford.
Yeah. A former Hartford Public High School student who claims she graduated without learning how to read or write has filed a lawsuit against the city, the school board, and a special education case manager. Her name's Alicia Ortiz, a special education student who graduated last June. She alleges she was bullied and harassed by district employees and claims the school system failed to address the issues even after they were reported to administrators. According to the 11-page complaint filed in Superior Court in Hartford, Ortiz is accusing the defendants of negligent infliction of emotional distress and negligence, and she's seeking unspecified monetary damages. The lawsuit claims that Ortiz wrestled with a learning disability throughout the elementary and middle school. They failed to address it there, leading to her struggle academically in the classroom and misbehavior in the classrooms as well. But then she eventually was just passed on through. And we've seen that before where students who aren't making the grades are passed through.
Right.
But they're saying the heinous treatment, this is from the lawsuit, of Alicia Ortiz was a direct result of her advocating on behalf of herself for her desire to learn, to read and write and go to college. But she says the school and the city failed her. How about that?
Yeah, that's something.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. I'm
that's
sure
something.
There's more to that story.
That's something.
All right. Like if you can't read or write, how did you call an attorney?
Well, I mean, you see the ads on TV.
Yeah.
Ask somebody, ask a friend to call. Pot prices. Phone a friend.
Segue, pot prices.
Phone a friend. Pot prices are going down. Cannabis prices are dropping in Michigan. They are at their lowest point since becoming legalized in 2018. What's at issue is too many people are growing it. Yeah, there's an issue. That's an issue for growers. Those on the sales side, business has never been better, though. So they say they're not going to be hurt. According to Cranes Detroit, sales of marijuana in Michigan are on pace to hit $3.3 billion this year.
Wow.
3.3. That's a $3.3 billion crop.
That's a lot of hemp.
That's a lot of hemp. This last year has been really good. I've been coming up on my first year with the company, and just since that time that I've been here, it's just going up and up and up every single week. That's according to Hannah Stewart, assistant manager at Bud Brothers Huron in Bangor Township. She said strong sales are increasing in strength, fueling a healthy bottom line. I don't know. I mean, the communities that have accepted it, they're getting a cut of it.
Yep.
Other state monies are going into the coffers there. People seem to be doing it okay without society crumbling, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But $3 billion for the entire state of Michigan in sales.
3.3, yeah,
which is a lot.
Yes.
But as we mentioned before, I did saw that article on college football.
Yes.
University of Michigan.
Talk about that.
Yeah, their football program is valued at $1.06 billion of valuation. University of Michigan does $220 million of revenue every year.
Say that again. The program
for football.
Okay.
Well, college athletics.
Okay.
So college athletics. University of Michigan was $1.06 billion valuation of that program, because there are private investors who now want to invest in these programs because they see the revenue as kind of a cash cow. Notre Dame is at $969 million valuation with $224 million of revenue. The number one valued program is Ohio State University at $1.3 billion.
Wow.
So you think all of the state of Michigan selling weed makes 3.3.
Yep.
The University of Michigan athletic program is valued at almost 1.1.
That's
some pocket change.
That is some pocket change. That's and are there investors? Are there abilities to put money into this?
Well, they're wanting to be able to, but obviously it's got to be, somewhat regulated.
You would hope, yeah.
And you got these big TV contracts, and the article goes into detail about how much money is made in TV contracts and how much these schools are making, and that's why you see these like smaller schools playing these Big Ten or big SEC schools, just because they might get paid $1 or $2, $3 million, and that pays for their program for the entire year. Just one appearance with Notre Dame or Michigan State,
huge money. In fact, I can't remember the exact statistics, but when we looked at how big of a crop $3.3 billion is per year in the state of Michigan, I think only corn. Maybe it was as big as corn, or maybe corn was just a little bit bigger, but that's huge. It's a huge crop, huge thing. All right, we're going to come back in just a couple of minutes. We've got to get the Bloomberg Market Minute in just a moment, and then we'll have the latest world and national news from ABC. We will also have our local news from the WSJM newsroom, and a look at the weather and sports from Dave Wolf. That's all coming up next here on WSJM.
What would you call a free account that helps you save?
I thought you'd like the carnivorous squirrels more.
Oh, I did like it. It was very good.
I saved that one especially for you.
And I appreciate it.
Oh, you didn't like it.
I'm sorry.
All right. I used to have a dream. Where, wouldn't it be cool? Because this was in Washington, D.C., and there they have nothing but parks, lots and lots of parks. It's really beautiful, a lot of open space because the town is laid out very nicely. And in each park, tons of squirrels, right? Yeah. Squirrels everywhere. And tourists feeding the squirrels all over the place. I had this dream where, wouldn't it be nice if squirrels weren't actually squirrels, they were yellow labs or golden retrievers? As proliferate as that in the parks.
That would be a lot more fun.
How fun would that be? Yeah, you got like 25 yellow labs in a park running around.
Throwing them biscuits.
Frisbees and biscuits and stuff like that. But no, I mean, you think of squirrels and you think, oh, they're cute. They can water ski. They can do all this other stuff. But all of a sudden, if they're going after other animals, I wonder what's happening in the ecosystem that's
Right.
occurring.
Right. Well, the scary part about that, like you indicated earlier, my daughter went to St. Mary's in South Bend, and the squirrels there are so tame that they will come up to people and beg.
They're aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if now they're deciding that they're a little bloodthirsty, that could become quite a perilous thing when you got a bunch of bloodthirsty squirrels chasing you across the parking lot.
Goodness. Yeah. That'd be something.
Or
going after little dogs.
Right. Right. I said to my daughter when she was attending school there, because it covers, football weekends for Notre Dame is a big deal. She was in the biology program. I said, it would be great if you could capture a bunch of these squirrels, sedate them, put little Notre Dame sweaters on them, and release them out into the campus. And so they're running around with these little Notre Dame sweaters on.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
That would have been cute, though.
It would.
All right. With 7:31, we've got a couple of minutes here. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, I saw Big Lots. Have you ever been to a Big Lots?
Yeah. They're staying open, aren't they?
No.
No, they're closed. I thought I just read something they announced
Big Lots to start holding going out of business sales at remaining locations.
Oh boy.
So if you're planning on going there, national retailer Big Lots based in Columbus, Ohio, announcing yesterday they will begin having going out of business sales at all of their remaining stores.
Wow.
All of them.
So what's going on with the shakeup between we've got McDonald's shutting down.
Yeah.
They announced yesterday there's going to close 16 Wendy's in the state of Michigan.
Yep.
So it's fast food becoming passe. And I use the word passe because I watched Moody the other day, and his vocabulary on the radio made me feel really stupid.
I wanted to give him some static on that one. Because he was using a lot of SAT words.
Yeah, no, he was dropping them, and I was like, what?
No, that was fun. No, we did have, in case you missed it, you should go back and see the video archive of it. We had Pat Moody on as a special co-host guest on Wednesday. Yes, Tuesday so Monday you were here.
Yeah.
Tuesday I had Sean Robinson, WSJM's Sean Robinson,
which was a good interview. He's cool to listen to.
He's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
24, a young lad.
Incredibly nice young gentleman. And then we had Pat Moody in. And that was my Christmas gift to myself and listeners, because I just love talking to him on the air. It's just so much fun. But so Pat was there. If you ever miss any of those interviews, any of those shows, just go back and listen or watch on the video archive on WSJM.
And if you saw on Facebook, I did my own little Facebook push of Pat Moody lookalike.
You did. How did it go?
It went well. Yeah. I was hoping for a more overwhelming response to that, but I did pick a Pat Moody, I should say, winner. I don't know if it's a winner, but he was the one that contributed that had a really nice collar up.
Okay.
And that was...
So wait. Yeah. So you got to lay the groundwork. Okay. What was the ask?
The ask was to do a selfie of yourself and put it on Facebook of doing your best Pat Moody. That we're going to find who could do their best Pat Moody.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
With a potential government shutdown looming. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:34, WSJM Morning Show continues. I'm Ken Lundberg. 31 degrees in Benton Harbor, 32 in St. Joseph, 30 in South Haven right now. We've got snowfall all across Southwest Michigan.
It's snowing.
Mike Weibel is here, co-host for this morning, and we were talking on the video live stream just a moment ago about some of the interviews that we've had, that I've had this week, and my guest co-hosts. Mike was on Monday, Sean was on Tuesday, Sean Robinson from WSJM Newsroom, and then day before yesterday, Pat Moody brought Pat Moody into the studio, just because we're in the Christmas spirit, and we wanted to bring him back. And honestly, it was a Christmas gift to myself because I love talking to him. He's
fun.
He's just so much fun. Although he was dropping SAT words on us.
Yeah, I know. He really dug deep on some of those.
He did great.
Yeah,
he did great. But Mike was so excited that Pat Moody was going to be on this week that you held your own little thing on Facebook.
I did.
Where you were asking people to do what?
To do their best Pat Moody selfie.
Okay.
So whether you wanted to do the glasses, the beard, or the branded up collar.
I saw somebody. Yeah. So I thought you were just going to ask people to pop their collars.
Right.
And you did that. And you're doing that now, if you can see on the video live stream. But then you also started putting on this beard that looked like Santa Claus.
Well, it's all I had.
But it was a Pat Moody lookalike, and you guys were all looking like Santa Claus.
Well, so he in some realms he might be Father Noel. You don't know.
All right. So how did it go?
It went great. It wasn't quite the overwhelming response of like 3,000 entries that I was hoping for.
That's all right.
But we did have a great collar pop up from Dan Hansen.
Oh, he's a good listener. Yes.
So I chose to make him my Pat Moody lookalike winner for 2024.
You appointed him the winner for 2024.
I did.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm going to send him something.
I would like to see his entry.
Oh, I've got it. I'll show it to you later.
All right. Good.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for
Dan.
playing along.
Yes, thank you, Dan.
And you didn't look like Santa. I guess I looked like Santa or whatever. So
you did look like Santa. I think it was the white hair. All right, it's 7:36. It's the WSJM morning show. We've got a forecast for today that does include the snow continuing probably into, at least in the morning time. We're going to have a 60% chance of snow continuing this morning, a high of 32 degrees, north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts up to 20. Tonight's forecast, cloudy skies, a 40% chance of lake effect snow, 1 to 3 inches of accumulation possible this evening, a low around 23 degrees, north winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday's forecast, partly sunny, 30% chance of lake effect snow showers, high around 28. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. The extended forecast, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. Let's look all the way up until Christmas. Sunday, partly sunny, high around 25. Monday, it's going to be mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of snow or rain, and it's probably going to be rain in some parts because the high is going to be around 35 degrees. Tuesday, mostly cloudy, and a 20% chance of rain showers, a high around 38. And then Wednesday, for your Christmas, mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of rain showers, high of 38 and low around 30. Christmas is not ruined because there's not snow on the ground.
No, not at all.
We can say that.
We can.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
But if you're disappointed and want to go someplace, I'm just looking on Wednesday, it's going to be 81 in Cancun. So if you're like, if it's not snowing, I'm out of here.
If there's
go to
not...
Cancun, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, just watch out for the drug runners there. It's 7:38. We've got to get to some news here from ABC.
ABC News.
Have you ever been to Cancun?
I have.
It's pretty there.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Do you ever go to the ruins, the Chichen Itza and
I have not been
Playa
there.
del
We went to
Carmen
the
or whatever it is?
cenotes.
What was that? What's that?
Those are the underground caverns.
Okay.
And you can swim through them, walk through them, so it's a...
cool. I like those. I like looking at those. I get a little concerned though when the water is stagnant. So like if you ever look at Chichen Itza, which is their old temple, they've got the whole community was laid out there, right?
Right.
And part of it was the ceremonial hole in the ground, which is huge. I mean, it's the size of like the biggest building in downtown St. Joe. And it goes straight down, and it's beautiful water down there, but it appears stagnant. And so I worry about that. I wouldn't swim in that.
So the cenote we went through, you finish with a waterfall that's falling in.
So it's fresh water coming in.
And it's cold. The water is cold.
Oh, nice.
But it's fun. It was great. And then we also did the zip lines.
Oh.
So we zip line from place to place.
So you're brave.
Well, the funny thing is there was a group
One
of
snap.
us. Yeah. Well, They didn't figure the speed and trajectory of someone that weighs my lbs. So as they people are going through and they have people there to catch you and stop you, and they have these little wooden washers to help you when you hit the pad. Yeah.
That sounds comfortable.
Let me just say that by the time I got after like 2 or 3 of them, the little wooden washers were starting to smell a little bit burned.
Did they not advise you to slow down or anything?
Well, you couldn't slow down. You just are at the mercy of however fast you go from
gravity?
one point to the other. Yeah.
Oh my God. See this.
They did encourage me to lift my feet up to hit the pad, and they would yell "muy grande" as I was, which I think means good job.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Muy grande. Thank you.
But
bam, and I'd hit the ball.
And this is part of the reason why here in the United States of America, we appreciate federal regulations.
Yes.
It's like, this is not going to happen.
That would not have worked in Denver or something.
That would not have happened there. No, I used to go down to Mexico with a good friend of mine from Washington State, and we'd go down there and just hang out. And, Yeah, we drank a little beer, a little Mexican beer.
Yeah.
And one of the times we were flying to Chichen Itza from not Cozumel. What's the other place? Hello, Cancun.
Cancun, yeah.
No.
I
Is
was
that
like,
right?
where are we going?
No, was it Cancun? Cancun and Cozumel are right next to each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay. So, because Cozumel is like a island,
Yeah.
basically out there. Anyway, so we were flying from Cancun to, I think we were flying from Cancun to Chichen Itza, and it was on a small plane, Russian plane, and we toured Chichen Itza, had a great time. They give you free beer on this plane.
Okay.
And so then after the Chichen Itza thing, we came back onto the plane and we were getting ready to fly back into Cancun. Again, free beer. And we were in our 20s. And so we were taking advantage of this and having a great time on this small Russian plane, which, as we learned after drinking all the free beer, had no bathroom.
Oh, boy.
And we were flying in bad weather.
Oh, my.
And so the weather was so bad that we couldn't land.
Oh, no.
They kept circling, waiting for us to land. And waiting for and so finally, and the reason I was confused on the places is we had to land in Cozumel, because we couldn't land in Cancun. But meanwhile, we've had free beer. We've been on the plane for way too long. We're stupid because we're in our 20s, and there's no bathroom on the plane. It was bad. So when we finally got onto the ground, we were running from the plane to the bathroom. We're running across the tarmac. And in Mexico, if you've ever been to an airport in Mexico, they've got armed guards there with like M16 rifles.
Yes, they do.
And they look very imposing most of the time, except for when they see a group of Americans getting off a plane, holding their bladders as best they can, running across the tarmac. ¿Dónde está el baño? ¿Dónde está el baño? Yeah. And they were like pointing.
Right.
Go there. Go there. That's my Mexico when there's no bathroom on the plane story.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good story. I like that.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. But I love that area. I love that neck of the woods. It's unfortunate right now that they are suffering so much of the drug stuff that even Cancun has become a dangerous spot from time to time.
Yeah, it has. Which
gunfights and stuff.
One thing about the resorts is they, good or bad, is they said the cartels basically run money through the resorts, so they want no problems.
Oh, they money launder there?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
So when you go to resorts, and a lot of that is protected because they don't want problems.
Because they want to keep their money laundering operations up.
Right.
Well, who are they hiding the money from? I mean, because
yeah, you would think it's not a big deal, but
the governments don't seem to be keeping a close eye on that.
We were down in Cancun, so it'd be probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago. We were down, and we're on the beach, and all of a sudden, these two military helicopters come down the beach, very low, with guys on the little bungees sitting out, all dressed in black copters, running down the beach, and I'm like, well, that could make you feel very secure, or could make you wonder maybe we should go back to the room. But we didn't. We stayed out.
And the iguanas all over the place there.
Yeah, that and just the and wild feral cats. They have these feral cats. Yeah, it was a great experience. We loved it. But where's the best place you've traveled?
What immediately came to mind just now was when I was in Europe, in the Czech Republic. This was part of a government trip.
Okay.
And our hosts surprised us with tickets to the National Ballet.
Okay.
To see the Nutcracker, because it was kind of this time of year.
Okay.
And so that to me was just the most memorable thing that I've ever done in as far as travel goes. And trying to think what would be second best. Yeah, can't really think of it right now, but that one stands out as an amazing time. What about you?
We went to Costa Rica a couple of years back, family vacation. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed Costa Rica. And
what's it like there?
I guess depending on what coast you're on, there's basically 4 different environmental regions there, and also cultures. So within the country, you can be in different places and have a completely different experience. But yeah, we stayed on a resort. It was beautiful. It had a golf course on the water, and it was great. But it was also, we decided we were going to go snorkeling. The resort set us up on a snorkeling
excursion.
charter. Yeah. And we were like, what how do we know? They said go to the beach at 8:00 in the morning. Well, which boat? The blue one. So this old like boat that's been redone and refiberglassed and all that stuff comes up. Then obviously somebody hand painted blue, and that was our boat.
Yeah,
and they drove us out there with, I mean, again, no safety, no life preservers. They were just like, stay away from the rocks.
Federal regulations helping there.
Jump in the water and stay away from the rocks.
Oh man,
yeah. But we survived.
That sounds nice and warm.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Still snowing outside, by the way, in Benton Harbor right now. I'm seeing somebody do our walk, so that's nice.
Yeah, it was a little slick coming in this
Was
morning.
it slippery?
Yeah.
Okay.
The walk was. So
I guess I could have put something on it, but I didn't think about it because I made
it was very wet. So you wonder if it's gonna.
It'll melt. All right, we've got to get back to the show here. It's WSJM morning show here on the video live stream. I would rather have snow on Christmas, but oh well. Yeah, Teresa, I agree with you. Bernice says Pat Moody is great. Hi, Bernice. Bernice is going to be on the show soon.
Is she?
We'll talk about that.
Awesome.
We will see a lull this afternoon as we top out in the low to mid 30s, and then lake effect snow starts up this afternoon and continues tonight near the lake shore. Another 1 to 3 inches possible. We're only in the 20s at 28 tomorrow. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's the WSJM morning show. Ken and Friends. My friend this morning, Mike Weibel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ken.
7.
We're friends now?
Well, I mean, whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be. 7:47, 13 minutes in front of 8 o'clock. And we've got news at 8 o'clock that we'll have from the WSJM newsroom as well as ABC. And we were just talking on the video live stream about Bernice Mason. She was recently recognized with the Governor's Service Award. And so I've been trying to schedule some time to get her on the show to talk about that because she's an amazing volunteer and she does a lot for community.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so she's a Benton Harbor native, lived in St. Joe for about 30 years. And the governor's office earlier this year gave her a Volunteer of the Year award for her 50 years of service to the area. So we invited her to come on to the WSJM morning show. That's coming up in, it's coming up soon. I have to look at the specific date. I think it's in the new year, but it might be. Yeah. Bernice knows. I don't know.
She knows.
It's on my computer schedule. But Bernice, looking forward to having you into the studios to talk about that. Other things we were talking about, I mentioned just a moment ago, Big Lots. So you thought Big Lots was open, and they are.
Yeah.
Because they're having a going out of business sale.
Yeah. Open to say goodbye.
National retailer Big Lots, based in Columbus, Ohio, announcing yesterday that it will begin having going out of business sales at all of its remaining stores. The retail chain also announced it does not anticipate completing the previously announced asset purchase agreement with Nexus Capital Management and will continue working toward an alternative sale with either Nexus or someone else, whoever else wants to buy them, they say. Big Lots hopes to have the sale completed by early January, but with no deal yet, the company says they have no choice but to begin the going out of business sales to protect the value of its estate. We all have worked extremely hard and have taken every step to complete an ongoing or this going concern sale. That's according to Big Lots president and CEO Bruce Thorne, who says, while we remain hopeful that we can close an alternative going concern transaction to protect the value of the Big Lots estate, we have made the difficult decision to begin the going out of business process. So you're going to see the big yellow banners with the black writing on it saying closing in front of the Big Lots. Where's our closest Big Lots? Do we have one in Benton Harbor?
We used to.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it went out of business. Yeah. But I know there was one down in Niles. But anyway, so if you're a fan of the Big Lots, if you're looking for a sale, if you're looking for some good deals, maybe they have them there. I don't know. I haven't been in one for a while, but they're going out of business. So Big Lots.
So Bernice says she's going to be on January 7th.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. January 7th.
She knows.
Very good. Thank you, Bernice, for clarifying on that. I would have to open my computer to confirm that, but we look forward to having you here. We should probably do the Moody on the market update, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Right here on the WSJM Morning Show, we'll talk about some pay it forward. that's happening.
Okay.
Rich Brand and Tarek Halsey of IMS Insurance Management Service, your local auto owners agency in St. Joseph and Niles, know it means something to have honest, trusted advisors to call.
Tarek and I, we love going to work every day, and we enjoy the people that we work with in our office, and our customers are small business owners. They're family-owned businesses, and IMS is a family-owned business, and we are a small business owner. We might not be manufacturing a good, we might not be selling a product or offering insurance.
Okay. All right. So let me confirm this, because as long as we know Bernice is listening, I think it's on my phone as well. She is exactly right. There it is right there.
Of course she's right.
Yeah. Bernice Mason, volunteer. Yeah. No, on January 7th. So we look forward to having you in on that. Also, coming up in January, Tim Denai is scheduled to be on the show. Tim Denai with First Robotics. He helps out greatly with all the robotics competitions that happen in the area high schools, specifically St. Joseph. If you've never been to one of those robotics competitions, we really look forward to seeing your reaction after you've been to one. For me, it was like seeing a basketball tournament, like a national championship, where the kids are super excited, they're super intense, and they've got these awesome, crazy robots flying around the gymnasium doing all kinds of fun stuff. So we will have robotics as far as an ongoing topic here on the WSJM Morning Show. So that's coming up in the new year. We've done this before, and we will look forward to doing it again, having some of the kids, some of the coaches, some of the sponsors come in and talk about robotics, why it's important, and why we're doing it here. And some of the sponsors, they know that the skills that the kids are getting with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and putting that into these competitions, they're ready to come out and be employed as robotics experts locally, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in just a moment right here. Well, more about that. We've got the Moody on the Market update coming up in just a moment right here on WSJM.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:52 WSJM Morning Show continues. 31 degrees in Benton Harbor, 32 in St. Joseph, 30 in South Haven. Continuing to snow. It's time for the Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call Insurance Management Service today, IMS, your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And United Federal's Pay It Forward has set a new high mark of employee holiday fundraising. Yeah, fundraising. So the Pay It Forward program, doing a great job. They're getting recognized on that. And for some reason, my computer is just frozen up, so I can't see what's behind that. This is just great. But anyway, one of the things we were talking about with Lisa Cripps Downey yesterday was how the tax treatment has somewhat curtailed people thinking about their donations in a holistic way to charities and nonprofits. And if the tax treatment doesn't encourage the smaller donations, that's a big hit collectively to the nonprofits. And so it's good to see groups like United Federal and the Pay It Forward program setting a new mark of holiday fundraising and employee giving. But even for individuals, when you're giving like that, that's how big the tax treatment can of an impact the tax treatment can have when you're looking at that.
Oh, definitely.
Anything else?
If you wanted to avoid tax on your required minimum distribution on your IRA,
see, that's why I asked Mike, is because he's a financial expert.
then you could give it to a charity, your church, a nonprofit. You don't pay tax on it. They don't pay tax on it. So if you know you're going to donate throughout the year anyhow, for instance, your church, you can go ahead and get that upfront required minimum distribution, and the IRS says you don't have to pay tax on the distribution as long as it goes directly to the charity.
Oh, very nice.
So there is a way to, the taxes are
Why don't
friendly.
they make it easy?
Well,
why don't they make it easier?
You worked in government,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, if there's a way to complicate things, the bureaucracy will find a way. One of the other stories that we have up on Moody on the Market right now, talking about taxes, fraudsters are now using fake letters in collections scams. Michigan taxpayers with past due debts should be on the lookout, on caution for an aggressive scam making the rounds through the U.S. Postal Service. According to the Michigan Department of Treasury, there's a scheme out there where taxpayers receive a letter about an overdue state tax bill that requests individuals to contact a toll-free number to resolve their debt. The letter threatens to seize your property if you don't call them, including bank accounts, wages, business assets, cars, real estate, refunds, cash, if the debt isn't settled. The piece of the correspondence appears credible on first look, but it actually is fake. It's a scam. You call that number, you give out your information, and they're going to take you for everything they can, unfortunately. So taxpayers who receive such a letter from a scammer, it's an official DR 1024, and apparently DR 1024 doesn't really mean anything.
Of course not.
Yeah, but it's there. So taxpayers who receive a letter from a scammer or have questions about state debts, you're always encouraged to call the Treasury's Collection Service Center. We have that phone number in the article at moodyonthemarket.com. A customer service representative can log the scam, verify the outstanding state debt that you might owe, and provide flexible payment options. To learn more about Michigan taxes and the collections process, you just go to michigan.gov/taxes. You know, the scammers, they take advantage of people when they're vulnerable, when they have unknowns.
Right.
And so, I mean, people who find themselves in these kinds of situations one way or another, maybe at some point they see the light and say, okay, I want to take care of this. I want to do it in the right way. This letter, I'm going to start acting on it. They call that letter, then they lose all their money. How about that?
Yeah. So earlier this year, I've got a letter at the office that we were going to have our power shut off.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we had 3 days to respond. And if it wasn't right, we were going to lose service. And it came from consumers, which doesn't provide
no electricity power here. Yeah.
Right? So that was the first indication that maybe something's wrong. But they looked very official. It was on letterhead, all that stuff. And so looking at the number, I'm like, this number doesn't seem. So then I looked up consumers, called their customer service and said, hey, I just received this letter. And they're like, thank you for letting us know, because this happens periodically. And we'll put something on our website. So sometimes when you get scammy stuff like that, rather than, again, calling that number, look it up online or find a specific number and call them. And a lot of times by giving them that information, they can be proactive to let customers know, like in this, that scammers are out and about.
Yeah, that's exactly the right thing to do. I mean, that's the best way to avoid getting scammed. Check out the information independently verify who it is you're dealing with. And I mean, honestly, the legit sources are getting tired of me, because if I'm ever talking to them on the phone and they're asking me the quote unquote security questions, by the time they get to the fourth or fifth security question, I said, no, you're making me uncomfortable with how much information you're asking of me. You should know more than this. Based on what I've given you. And so now I'm going to hang up and I'll call back later.
Well, and you can always ask, if they say you owe a bill, they have to prove it.
Yeah.
So somebody calls and say you owe something, say, well, send me a statement.
Yeah.
And then they'll start. I've had that happen too. Well, Michigan Gas, you owe Michigan Gas.
Yeah.
Well, send me a statement. Well, you've already received those statements. Well, obviously not. And so by law, they're supposed to provide you with documentation.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that will shut the scammer down when they realize that they can't.
Do you ever make a game of seeing the scam letters? Not necessarily a scam, but sometimes they're just plain advertisements that are trying to look as official as possible.
Yes.
Trying to make a game of it, trying to find out, okay, where's the telltale sign of what this is, the disclaimer or something. Sometimes you can't find them.
No.
Yeah.
So sometimes, they're really bad news when they're not even legal.
Yeah, when there's no disclaimer. All right, enough of that nonsense. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got the ABC News coming up, update in just a moment. We'll get the latest world and national news. Also, we'll get the latest from the WSJM newsroom. We'll talk weather. We'll talk financial information from Mike Weibel and his role as Baird Private Wealth Management. That's all coming up in just a moment. The forecast for today, it's snowing outside right now. So if you planned to zip around and do some quick Christmas shopping, slow down. You're going to have to do that just to stay safe. It's going to be snowing probably in the morning today, high around 32 degrees. It's currently 8 o'clock. News
From
next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More labor walkouts at big U.S. companies.
Okay. Well, we'll talk on the air in just a few minutes about some of these labor walkouts. Starbucks and Amazon, what are you doing?
Right.
You Grinch?
Yeah.
Don't walk out.
They will not pay you.
It's the WSJM Morning Show. Hey, thanks for joining us. Anything we need to catch up on the video live stream? Doesn't look like
it. Now we've got January 7th.
Okay.
confirmed
for Bernice. Looking forward to that.
Everybody else is just getting ready for Friday and the holiday.
Teresa says it's snowy here in Stevensville too. Let's see what else we have here. A lot of great good mornings. Snow. Michigan left. Yeah, the Michigan lefts. I still don't understand with that.
They're horrible.
But it seems like going backwards on the
it does
on the whole transportation flow of things. Just put in another light. I could just do it. Or don't stop traffic at all.
Yeah, just
leave the overpass.
Right.
Too expensive to maintain. All right. Too expensive to maintain. Road must go away. All right. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Thanks for joining us this morning. We really appreciate you.
Yes.
We thank you. Have a great, happy, safe holiday season. Next week, by the way, the video live streams will be best ofs from 7 to 8 o'clock. They'll be best ofs. And so I hand selected a few carefully selected, procured, curated pieces of the WSJM Morning Show of recent for playback from 7 to 8 o'clock. So if you're bored of the family for holidays or you just need an escape, 7 to 8 a.m., you can see which ones I picked. And then also anytime you can check out Facebook and YouTube for video archives of what's going on there.
And if somebody says, you say, hey, have you watched the video live stream of the morning show? And they're like, no, how do you do that? You go online and you follow, and subscribe through Facebook or YouTube, and then put the little notification bell, and you will always be ready to go when we're ready to go.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you. Enjoy your holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And we'll talk to you soon.
Ho, ho, ho.